on, Wisconsin!
All right, we are off. So, thanks for joining me. Just finished up 3 hours of fun chatter here at IONNA in Janesville. I'll have to go back and look and see exactly how many cars we had go through. But I am at 13% here as I plug in, and as we can see, we are ramping right up into the 150s. Let's go to the detail. Voltage is still low, so 299, 300. All right, so we're gonna get up over to 150 here. I'm quite confident. When you come in that low, it is a problem with these sub 300 volt vehicles when they're at 13%. But so anyway, I'm plugging in here after the event. Had a good turnout. I just had a lot of fun. Saw some viewers that really enjoyed spending the time with. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for stopping by and filling my 3 hours with a lot of fun. We had dogs show up. So it was a great time, and I appreciate it, and that's why you would do something like this, host an event, was to meet the people and talk to them. And so IONNA sent me some swag to hand out today, and unfortunately it arrived at my house after I left for the event. So if you were here and want a piece of the swag, let me know, because I don't need to keep all of that stuff. I wanted to go out to you guys who came out here. So, you know, drop me a note, leave me a message in the comments, or send me an email, j@wisconsev.com, and we will get some IONNA swag out to your door pronto, as a thank you for you know, coming out and saying hi and getting your 20 cents per kilowatt hour. The highlight for me was Dean Hoover bringing his BZ in here, rolling it in here at 1% to test the charging, how his new BZ was charging on a DC fast charger. So I think the number was 1% to 80% in 27 minutes on, well, I don't know, it was one of those back there. But anyway, primo, and kind of gave him a little more confidence that something wasn't wrong with his car, because he'd had some slower charging on it, and there aren't always a lot of like information or like reasons why things that make sense to us, that why it's going slow. Anyway, he 1 to 80%, 27 minutes, and so solid test. Thank you, IONNA, for kicking it down to 20 cents per kilowatt hour, and saved Dean some money, and got some good testing data for him to feel confident in his EV. And that's really what all these places are all about, is being able to go where you want, when you want to go with your electric vehicle, and not have to think about it so much to like, oh, where am I going to charge? Those are the things that I think we need to help solve, and places like this will hopefully bridge the gap between now and people understanding their EVs and understanding EVs as a whole. So, thank you, IONNA. Okay, right up to 155. Come on down. So 155 flat here. That's good. I like that curve. Already got 11 kilowatt hours in. We're at 23%. Solid. The station hand program that IONNA is running is, I think it's great. It gets people like me out that I can answer questions to people that are new to EVs or new to charging at an IONNA station. So this one we did here. We were also here in February. I was in Lake Delton. Wisconsin Electric Vehicle Association was here in Janesville. So hopefully it just gets people out to, hey, I've never been to an IONNA before. I'd like to try it out. And lots of you did, and so I appreciate that. And I hope they do too, and I think all EV drivers in general should, come out and try to charge when it's not mission critical, right? Get used to plugging it in. How does this cable work? How the heck do I need to move this thing to make it fit to where my port is? How do I need to park at these to make it easy for myself? All of those questions can be answered hopefully on a Saturday afternoon and not on a Tuesday when you're racing to do 12 different things or whatever. It's an emergent situation. So if you can, I recommend you go out and test and see what it's going to be like, because I think it will be better. I think that's a Blazer EV that just cruised on by. Maybe they'll stop over here for some discounted charging. Looking, and it's behind the camera, so never mind. Those aren't the droids you're looking for. So anyway, next month, not ready to announce it completely because I haven't been sent the official information, but next month, last weekend of June, another quick charge meetup, and I'll save the location for another day, another video. I gotta have you come back and watch that one too. I mean, that's what I'm here for. So, but look for that end of June at a quick charge somewhere in their network. You'll know soon enough. 18 kilowatt hours, still at 146 at 32%. I love it when there's just smooth curves, I don't want problematic charging. I just want it to plug in and work. 7.5 minutes, 18 kilowatt hours. Let's go to the detail. Average. Hello. I don't know that I've seen that before. Please keep that up. That's an amazing average. 20% I've already pulled in 8 minutes. So I don't think I'm going to charge up all the way, even though at 20 cents, it's basically like me paying for it at home, or 18 cents once the discount's figured in. But yeah, we'll see. If it's this good, I might just stick around. Favorite car that I saw here today. It was one that didn't stop and charge, probably. It was a Rivian R1T with a softback on the bed. Like a tent softback on the bed that just drove by the Menards here. That's the one I was like, oh, hey, I hope you come in and charge. They didn't. Second would be a gorgeous Porsche Macan that I screen snooped, and it was pulling 242 at like 32% on the battery, I believe. So that's probably the highest charge that I've seen on one of these Alpitronic HYC400s, because we had nobody in a Lucid or anybody came by, so we'll have to wait for another day to get one of those super sessions going. All right, so we've gotten 13 to 49%, 35 kilowatt hours in, and there's the curve. One definite drop there, and I'm not sure what I'd have to turn the car on to see what the battery temp is, and I don't really want to mess with that while things are going good. So really appreciate everybody that came out. Hope to see you again soon. Otherwise, I will be in your YouTube with a lot more videos here coming soon. I've got just a ton of backlog that I'm going to try to get through, including some from as far back as August. My unforgettable stop at the Tesla Supercharger in Fond du Lac at the Target. Coming soon to a YouTube video on your screen. And then a bunch of other ones that are not nearly that old, but still other ones that I want to show off are, let's see, where else? Recently went to the Avis dealer by the airport in Madison, charged at those charge points. I've got a couple Pilot Flying J stops that I want to get to. Somebody here today was asking me about the Quick Star spot in South Beloit, which has a 12 stall, I think, supercharger. First exit in Illinois, right off of I-90 39. Great stop. You know, I like the quick charge. I like the Quick Star there, not even a quick trip. I like the Quick Star, and there's a bunch of other options if those are full, if you don't want to wait to charge your vehicle. But V4's great. So you got a little sneak peek look at that one here as I put this video together. But we're dipping now at 54% down to 117, and that's just not we don't need to charge anymore. I can make it home. I might have been able to make it home on what I had if I took the back roads, but so we better shut down before we drop below 100. I don't want this average to drop below 130 for this session. So anyway, thanks again for joining me either on this video or if you were here. Means a lot. And hopefully you got to enjoy the 20 cents per kilowatt hour price. And if you didn't do it here, hopefully you were able to go to one of the other ones that they had a station hand at to get that 20 cents price. So much appreciation to IONNA as well for sending the swag, despite the fact that it arrived just a little bit late. But that'll be in the hands of viewers and EV drivers soon, promise. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next charge.